Hello, one and all. Just as the first heads up, there won't be music today. The last stream got a portion of it muted, even though I was using a copyright-free playlist. So we'll just see how no music goes today. But if you do need music, obviously go find some and play that. Oh, just as things are starting off. Oh, Lufico. Music sucks butt anyway. Who likes music? I don't. I do. I like music a lot, actually. Aww. But yeah, so as people are coming in here, I might draw up a like really simple. I am doing good, Lufico. Well, mostly good. There might be a small chance of getting the thing, but I'm being careful, so. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna draw up something fast. I do have examples here too, but it might be nice to just have like a piece ready to shade like from the start. It took you a second to realize what I meant. It's midnight here. Yeah. This is just nondescript anime girl. Oh no. Oh, you know what I should do? I should draw the character we designed last time. Sapphire Smith, I think. We named her. If only I can. There it is. If only I can remember where it was. Oh, you guys are gonna see like everything that's open right now. Is that it? Oh no, that's not it. Yeah, Apple Girl. I think we did a real good job last time. We recreated something really cute. Or someone really cute. So, yeah, so we had that. So I'll give her a little bubble nose, and a little bubble eyebrows. She's so cute. Okay, and then get her hair. I'm not worrying too much about like being completely on model or anything. Ooh. Oh, there's a new rival in Pokemon Sword? Oh, the like poison butterfly girl? I have no idea what her name is. Anyone popping in is probably like, this isn't shading. It's like, just wait a second, I'm getting there. Oops. Also, if I choke again today, like I did last week, I have apple juice. So we're good to go. Oh no, Lufico. I've had that before. Or rather, just general technological issues sometimes. For the longest time, my mouse was double clicking. And I was just too lazy to get a new one. So I just dealt with it. I was like, okay, I guess this is my life now. Oh my god, she's so cute. Though now realizing that like from a more side view, it's less of an apple and more like cherries, which is still cute and like still fruit related, but it's just kind of funny. You're a disgrace to the apple family lineage. Cherries in your hair. What are you doing? Too much of a hassle trying to sort things out. If it still works, don't fix it. Well, my other half of that is I'm very cheap, or rather, I like to say frugal. We're frugal. So like, if I could still use it even just a slight bit, then I'm not gonna spend more money on getting a replacement. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. And definitely, I'll probably use this design in ITM somewhere because she's so cute. I probably won't make her do anything like. Well, I'll make it the like potion. If only just to like, it could be an interesting source of light for the lighting and shading. To like make it a glowy potion or something, right? So that'll be good. Oh, Lufico, you have what is it called? Switch Drift? Joy-Con Drift. I think I have it too, like slightly, but the games I play don't require too much precision, so or have like light reflecting under her shirt through the glass. Yeah. Uh, I keep forgetting what's in my playlist, and like you guys can't hear it, so I'll very suddenly and quietly hear music, and I'm like, wait. I also love, I love how this like tied up lab jacket kind of looks like a guy with like a mustache. It makes me laugh. I don't feel like drawing her other arm, so I'm just gonna have Toadsworth. Yeah. It's too bad that Nintendo has not used Toadsworth in a while. Also, like, colors of coats definitely don't go like this, but I don't know. I find it way more striking to have it look like that. It's just fun. Also easy to draw, which is like half of my MO. Can it be easier? Yes, do it. I'm just drawing this for the sake of shading it in, but I'm putting like so much effort in making it look cute. I mean, if I'm gonna use this later, it might as well look cute. I probably won't draw her legs though, just because it's already taking a decent amount of time anyway. Okay. Nothing wrong with making a cute doodle. That's like 90% of my career. Okay. Oh, I should probably make like a stream folder. Stream. There we go. Sapphire Smith. Oh, I'm so sorry if the typing of the keyboard sounds annoying. I don't know how it looks. Okay, so don't need this open anymore. But I'll probably first go to some older examples I have with like some pretty nice shading on them. So if you watch Josh Jepson, you might have seen this one already. I posted it in his Discord's art channel for an art segment, and it is Fire Lord Brook. And I really enjoyed doing the lighting on the fire in this one. So on this one, I did a number of different things just because like the fire is right here. First I did consider just having it be flat colors with the fire because it still looked good. I'll slow down what I'm doing with the layers there just so you can see it. But one of the things I did is I put a layer on top of the line work that had lighting on it. So then, it gave it this extra little glow with the fire instead of just being the black lines. But also that way I didn't have to like specifically worry about everything being in one layer, if that makes any sense. It's on a clipping layer right now, so that means it only goes on to the layer below it, which is the lines. Well, actually, it's the folder of the lines. Ooh, which is a nice, quick way to do that. But if I take it off of that, that's what the entire layer looks like. And you can see I just kind of blurred it where it needed to be blurred, because this stuff didn't matter because it's not on the line, so you don't see it anyway. So like when I do this, it goes back to just being on the lines. Another thing I'd like to do is, I don't know how I'm gonna specifically word this, but I like to use lighting to create shading, if that makes any sense. And I will elaborate right now. So if you see this shadow, which my mouse might be a little bit off, but it is right underneath the coat. I'll just actually make this one right here. I'll make it a different color. This one. Right there. That isn't a shadow, it's a lack of light. So like I am on the light shadow, or the light layer right now. And if I take it away, that shadow, quote unquote, isn't there anymore. Because what it was is me erasing the lighting, right? So like, this isn't a shading layer, it's a lighting layer. But you can create a shadow, quote unquote, by erasing the light, right? So that speeds things up sometimes, and also just makes it look cooler, because like generally I'll have a gradient because I like to, when it's further away, I like to have the light sort of fade out, so I blur it, and then you can get kind of a cool like gradient shadow where it just gets more even the further away it gets from the light source. And then of course you have your regular shadows. So you can kind of combine those to create like really dark parts, even if it's just one layer of shadow. If you have the light contrasting it, it makes it look extra dark. So that's one. Then this was from a while ago, and this was another type of shading that I do sometimes, and it's very much luminosity and shade layers, where if you have a light color, it's going to become a light source on that layer. If you have a dark color, it'll be more of a shade. And it's on the exact same layer, so you can have shading and lighting on the same layer. It's also very vibrant, so it's really fun to work with sometimes. I don't do it a lot because the way I do it is a lot of extra steps, but So this layer in particular was like half of the shading on the hair. And it was just general gradients with, I think, this blue, or one close to that blue at the very least, and then like a yellow. And because the yellow was light, it became the highlights, and then because the blue is darker, it became the shading sort of gradient on there. Yeah, I don't tend to do this one too often because it does look nice, but it is really really vibrant and saturated, which isn't something I always go for. It always throws me off that your layers are on your left. That's just where I've always had them. I think that was like the default. Oh, you know what? I wonder if that's something that throws me off in Clip. Because they have the layers on the right. I wonder if that would help at all if I moved them over to the left. I think as far as layouts of art programs go, I like to have any and all like tools and such on the left. So then it's just like, this is the clicky area. This is where I click stuff. And then the right is just the art, just the stuff. But yeah, I would recommend. I know that, at least I'm pretty sure, Clip also has Lumi and shade layers is what they're called. They might be called something different, but like usually something like light and shade or luminosity and shade, stuff like that, might have a very similar function. Actually, just fooling around with, almost had to swear there, fooling around with different types of layers and just seeing like how they interact is a really good way to figure out, you know, what you prefer. And like I'm showing here, this alone today, I'm going to show you 3 different ways that I tend to shade. I forgot to mention it on the Fire Lord Brook one, but I'm pretty sure that for her shading, yeah, no, I can see it in the preview. This color, I really like this color. It's like a reddish purple. And the reason that I like this color for shading in particular is that it is warm because it has that little bit of red to it, but it is like slightly to the cool side of colors because it's purple, right? So it's got this nice balance between warm and cool that I just really like. Also, it's just a nice color. And I find it works with most things. It's a nice sort of like, if you don't want to do different colors for your shading, it's a nice, easy, one and done sort of color. And if I do lighting on the same one, because usually I'll just do shading if I do details at all, but sometimes I'll do lighting. I'll do like this pink for the lighting, or this yellow, depending on what it is. And you can see like these 3, oh, like that palette right there, I really like that, even just on its own right there. So these work nice together as just general things for a very, 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 very fast shading. And like you could screen camp this if you want to get these colors, just to try them out. It's up to you. But I just really like them as like the highlight side and the shade side. Of course, that's if it's like sort of warm lighting. If it is cooler lighting, I like this blue. Maybe this for highlights, you know. Just gotta work with whatever your environment is for the shading and such. But yeah, that purple and like the pink and yellow thing, that's nice for when like I use that yellow for the lighting on this one, which, you know, made sense because it's fire. But for general pieces, I tend to go for those. just because like there's no context and such. So for Haley's, I just went, because it was the Lumion shade thing, I went for colors that were near the green. So, you know, like this was the green, and then what I like to do sometimes is like I'll go, if you watch the color wheel for the shading, I'll go in a direction, you know, to the right, or clockwise rather, and then, you know, maybe darken it. And then for the lighting, I will go counterclockwise and, you know, make it vibrant and like rough like that, or just in those general directions. I'll often just still use my palette, but you know, I got that green and I'm like, okay, so clockwise on the color wheel would be blue, so I picked a blue that I had in here, and then counterclockwise would be yellow, so I had a yellow that I had in there. In general, oh yeah, forgot to mention, these are not like, you know, this is not how you realistically shade or anything like that. Anything I'm saying today for shading is focused on speed, on like the quickness of it, because that is my artist MO. That is what I aim for, and that's what these shading techniques tend to, you know, go towards. They help your speed to get a decent look in a fast amount of time. Are they realistic? No. So, you know, this is not applicable everywhere. You know, don't forget to look at professional sources when you need to. Like, I wouldn't be able to teach this in a school, for instance. But it might help you to branch out and try some things, which would be great. In this one, I also experimented with, you know, like the colors bouncing off of each other. So you can see that there is the green of her hair is sort of bouncing off her chin there, which I think gave it a nice little effect there. Google art resources on Google Images and download every image, basically. Yeah. Oh, one big thing I do recommend when you're looking through art resources and such, if they don't say, like, if they have, you know, some sort of example, and then they put the big X by it, but that they don't say why, my big recommendation is, if you see that and they don't tell you the reason why, they say don't do this, do it. Do it and find out why they're saying not to do that. Because when it comes down to it, there's no hard rules in art. So whatever they're saying, you know, isn't working for whatever example, like shading with black, for instance, is a big one. And like there are reasons behind that, but I've seen so many things that don't say why. And, you know, it's stuff like it's unrealistic because there isn't, you know, that isn't how shading works in real life. It becomes muddy, you know, like stuff like that. It kind of drains that color out of the image. But I don't see that. You know, I don't see pieces mentioning that. And, you know, say you had a piece and you wanted it to look a bit muddy or slightly unrealistic or something, you know, that might be the key you were looking for. But if you didn't question why, if you didn't question why they said don't shade with black, you wouldn't have that, you know, in your mind space to try it and use it. Ocean. LOL Sono and her contrarian exercises experiments. And I'm not saying like always shade with black. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying find out the why of, you know, why they're saying not to do it. So like I just changed that layer of the basic gradients to black there. And like, is this the general look that I wanted for the piece? Not quite. But on the other hand, it looks like kind of weirdly cool. Not gonna lie. Or like it kind of gives like a, I can't even describe what this looks like right now to me. Almost translucent. But like you can see that there's something interesting there. And then like even ocean. Your shade with black and the World God Knows series definitely made it pop in my mind. Yeah. No, I did one thing that really opened up my art possibilities and such was the World God Knows art challenge I did, where I was drawing every character from that series in different styles. And one of them was literally, I am going to shade with just black because I want to see if I can make it work. And it's one of my favorite sets that I've done, right? But like, you know, it does work to figure out why people are saying not to do something, especially if you're new to it. And I feel like that could work too with, writing and like anything artistic is, as a test run, find out why they're saying not to do this thing. Because like even in writing, maybe using the exact same descriptor, would be a bad thing or repetitious, but what if you wanted this one section to be repetitious? Like I think of Series of Unfortunate Events book that had the page that was just full of never, 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 never. And it's like that stands out, that's so unique, that's really interesting. Right? And like the guidelines are to help you to get a nice base so that you can feel comfortable experimenting, right? So now here I am saying experiment first. Another one I saw, and I felt bad because the person was getting a bit of flack for it, I think, but they were talking about how to do laces on boots. And I won't draw like a full boot or anything, but it was kind of like, and then they did the proper version of it, which I won't do the full thing, but you get the idea. But then they had, the X and the check. And I definitely understood what they were going for. In that, the X thing, that's not how laces work. Right? That's not realistic, that's not how it works. And, they do loop back and forth. But even just thinking of what I mentioned earlier about how my art focuses completely on speed. This is way faster than this. So if you had an art style based on speed, you can use this. It's fine, right? They were talking about specifically, this is how it looked realistically, right? And that's why I felt so sad that, they were getting a bit of flack for it. But that's kind of what happens a bit when you don't evaluate why you're saying no to this part. Or, even if you're just doing a sketch, your sketch doesn't have to be perfect. It's just, you need to identify what you wanted there. And if you have this, you're like, oh, okay, I wanted a boot with a lot of laces on front. And then in the lining stage, you can change it to that. We're barely doing any shading at this point, but yeah. Okay, so Lufico. One of my favorite things that's kind of like that is in the Soul Eater manga. Because they're going through a book that's based on the 7 deadly sins, and they get to sloth. And most of the panels are missing, are not there, are completely blank. And it looks so well done. Yeah, like that stuff that breaks the mold is so fun. But yeah, as you're learning, when you see those X's, if there's no explanation, try it out, dip your toe in the water, and figure out why they don't want you doing that. Because you could use it later. You guys can't hear it, but my music stopped and I needed to go. So this will be the last example of already done shading that I'll probably show off. And this is one where the colors were already ready. Because all of the shading, and I'll actually just open up if I have it still here. All the shading was, done, right? So, oh my gosh, where did I put it? It's in here. Where are you? There you are. So, I just color dropped the shading colors and such from here. So I didn't use, a multiply layer or a highlight layer. I just kind of used what was here, except for here. because this wasn't a strong enough color, I want to say. So I changed it. Instead of this one, I changed it to my good old one, and my palette this one. Because I did it very light, so it still worked out. This was also like my first foray into doing this style of hair, which I've been really enjoying doing. Right, so you can see in there, I have 2 layers of shading in the hair, and that's it. So I have this one, which is just kind of a general, and it's got the highlights in there. But that's like the general gradient. And then this is the detailed one. And you might be thinking like, holy crap, like that's a lot of detail for the singular layer. And yeah, when I first did it, I was like, oh my god. But what I was doing, I'll just set aside a thing here, is I had the base color there, and clipping groups are your friends. Clipping groups are amazing. I love them. How many? Yeah, I was at 100%. So clipping groups and the marker tool. It's really fun. So I'm going really lightly here. I don't even know if that was the right color now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, so you can kind of do something like that, and they overlap a little bit. And then, here's the fun part, you erase. And it gives that feeling of there's hair on top of the hair that has the shading. Just super easy, right? And then if you're on a normal layer like this, which I am, you can take like the highlight color, and I'll do another one for the highlights just to make sure I'm not overdoing it. But you can do the same thing with the highlights. What I like about this too is that it gives it a nice sharp look, because when you're erasing it, it just sharpens it. So yeah, right there you can see some bits of the shading I did. And then sometimes I'll go to pencil, because then it'll be really, really bright. Same with the shading. Though it depends on like how hard I pressed. But yeah, again, this is like a part of the reason that I started doing it that way, again, is speed. If I'm able to do, all that on just 1 or 2 layers, it's so much faster than having to worry about like make a new layer and like it's only highlighting, and then I have to figure out how I'm going to make it nice and sharp and such, and then have like possibly 3 layers, one for the hairs in the middle, and then having to think about it layering that way. It's just like, no, just erase as well as put down the lines, right? Oh yeah, we need to color Sapphire. Her hair is supposed to be red, but her name is blue. It won't be the best coloring because I'd like to do just like general shading on her. Let's be more vibrant. There we go. Her eyes can definitely be blue. If you want to do details on the exact same layer and you don't want to bother with a clipping layer, preserve opacity is your friend. Yeah, don't worry, Lufico, I know you're here, and I appreciate chatting with you. Makes it easier to say things. And yeah, I understand that like for anyone who doesn't use like digital art programs, it might just be like, whoa, like, whoa, okay. But yeah, at the very least, I hope it's like fun to watch. I don't know, what should we do for the color of her cheeks? Because like they're supposed to be like bubbles, but they're blush stickers, right? So. Oh yeah, whenever I'm coloring something, I often like to have background color so that I can make sure if I have a white in there that it's still, it gets to all the spots it needs to. Or if it does that. Oh, hi Aqua! How are you? I have a good song in the queue right now. Yeah, Luffy go, see, this is how you are. You just gotta do this, and then this, and then a little this, and that. You art good. Yeah. Yeah, one of my things at my job, they do stuff with kids a decent amount. And I've quickly realized that if I'm ever asked to like think of something for the kids to do, I'll often have my my coworkers or my boss be like, they're like 6 and 8, they can't do this. And I'm like, oh right. Okay. I feel like I put more effort into that little bit of potion here than most of the things. Should her hair still be red? I think it would be cute, but also like, I guess that's more pink. I can't escape pastels. Oh, you know what it is? You know what it is that's making me hesitant? Because her shorts are going to be red too. So a part of me is like, is that too much? Fortunately, it'll be really easy to like change it. Oh god, oh no, I went too far. So something that's fun in like all art programs. And I didn't need to make another layer for this. It's just easier that way. If you go into, oh, I guess you guys can't see this because you can't see the menus. So at the top, there's the filter menu. And you can't see this, but it has two options. One of them is hue and saturation. A lot of our programs have this nowadays, where you can go into some menu and you can find hue, like a hue menu. And you can just change the hue. Make it a rave. So, and if you're just changing the hue, then you really don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm gonna lose my other color. This is Paint Tool Psi, and it's actually, it's a really early version of it because I never upgraded. I think it's like version 1.10. Like, it is old. There's probably a much better like Psi 2 or something. Clip Studio is also a really good one. I have like the big like comic animation version, and it was only like $150, like professional grade software with comic and animation stuff built in for just 150 flat. I have it personal. And then the smaller version, it goes on sale all the time. It's like, I can't remember if $50 is the regular price or if it's the sale price. But either way, it's Clip Studio Paint is really good. I'm not using it right now, but yeah. I'm gonna try having it at blue for a bit, cause sapphire. But I will change that if I feel like it doesn't work. So hair, and then I know that her shorts are gonna be red. This might be too vibrant a red, but or not. Maybe it should be more vibrant. We still haven't gotten to like shading stuff. I think there was like too much. Something in the middle. That's better. Okay. And then a green bow. Maybe not that green. Green bow. should her ahoge still be brown? It does look like a man with a mustache. I told you. That's the plot twist. It's an actual guy. Okay, for now, I'll make it brown to see how it works, and we'll test out the different colors, but it's a bit too much. I'll make it... There we go. Okay, I was making it shine. Ah! My pen is too big. She's going to make things explode. I'll probably change those shines depending on what we do for the lighting, but yeah. Eventually we'll get to shading this particular piece. Oh god. I'll probably tinker around with the skin color too. Just want to fill things first. I think that's okay. Okay, so now that the shorts are colored in, let's see. Oh, the darker blue looks kind of nice. Purple looks pretty good, okay. Oh, pink. So that was the original color. Yeah, I think with the shorts, it's like a little too much. It is cute on its own though. Like if you didn't have the shorts there, because I really want the shorts to be red. Wait, okay, I'm gonna try something. What if we made the shorts blue? No, I like the shorts being red. Goes better with the shirt. Darn, I really like both. But it's like it's too much. It's too much of that sameish color. Orange is actually pretty cute. It's actually pretty cute as orange. I might leave it as orange for now. First it was apples, and then it was cherries, and now it's oranges. Yeah, I'll do orange for now. Okay, what are we gonna do for the blush stickers? Should we make them bubbly, or should we just make them regular blush stickers? Oh, too big. I don't want it to be the same color as the nose. There we go. Aw. Yay! Okay, blue. We're so close. So close. Okay. And then I'll make that. I'll just do that. There. Okay. Okay. So. Her name is gonna be Sapphire. And the only blue on her is her eyes. Which, I mean, okay, you know what? Lore-wise, if you're a baby and you got cute, adorable blue eyes, I can see them naming you Sapphire, right? right? This makes sense. Okay, so let's finally do some shading. So I'm gonna do the example of using lighting to like just lighting to get shading in here. So we're gonna pretend that this beaker is giving off a lot of light, right? So I'll make it like that, a bit like this, just to make it easier. Whoa, oh my god. I was apparently on rotate, messed me up a bit. So what I'll first do is I usually get, it's a bit hard with the white to see what's going on with the lighting. Yeah, so this will be a bit harder to tell considering that it is a character that has a lot of light colors on her. This technique tends to work best with characters that maybe have a darker palette, just because you can already see the contrasts with the light really easily. So like if I add in a multiply here, just for the sake of making it darker so we can see the light. Yeah. Yeah, so like I just took, the fill bucket and I just filled it on a clipping layer of the color. And now that light is so much more striking because it is against a darker color, right? And then I'll get that green back. Okay, yeah. And then since yeah, and then depending on the areas, so like the I call these bangs, they stick out a bit. So I'd add a little bit there, and like a little bit on the bow because it does stick out a little, maybe a bit down there. You can get some volume by like, okay, there's, the fold on her, what do you call it, collar. And you can just keep, like right now you just want to put light wherever because you're going to be doing erasing eventually. But just put it on the places that make sense. And then like, I tend to blur it a little bit depending on where it is. Oh yeah, so you can make like fake edges, if that makes any sense, by only blurring one part. And now you can see this looks really sharp under the collar there. I might still blur it just a little bit, but that's a nice tip as well. But yeah, so I always start with the basics of just like the gradient and such. And then, so we see that her head would be blocking the ribbon, right? So I'm just going to erase behind the head specifically. And there, you can already see there's the shadow there, right? And then I just did the inside of this bow because I always put a shadow there. Sometimes I'll just do a little bit of erasing elsewhere just in case. Like, I didn't quite tell that there was lighting over here on this bun, so I just did a little bit more there. Same with, like, back of the head here. Oh, not the ear, though. At least not like that. And, like, I'm just erasing right now. I'm not doing a pen or anything. I'm just getting it back to the base color. Well, the base plus that shading I added. So it's not quite the base. But yeah, you can just kind of play around with just erasing, and it looks really cool. It's also, like, a lot easier, just in my opinion. Ooh. I tend to try and make the eyes pop out a decent amount too. And then here. Yeah. Well, it's like on one layer here, and I guess technically the one with the purple, but really still just one layer. I'm doing the shading and the lighting at the same time with one color, right? Like, so at least to me, that's a lot easier. I'll do that for later. And like take it out from the shoulder here, because it's right there. Something that's really nice with this purple too is it gives your palette an even more uniform, like, I guess, hue to it, because now all of this has a little bit of purple in there, right? And very booby. And then there would also be really stark contrast with the fact that the arm is completely blocking it, just straight up right there, right? That's another nice thing, is that because you're doing it with the lighting like this, it automatically, like, how do I describe this? The intensity of the shadows is basically automatic when you do it with the gradient from the light, right? Because the light is strongest here. That means when you erase, that contrast is going to be that much more intense. But over here, I did the lighting so lightly or darkly, I don't know. You know what I mean? I didn't press very hard on the pen over here. So there's very little light over here. So when I erased it, there's really not much difference over here, but the difference right where the light is strongest is like bam. So like that's another thing, again, speed. It's another thing you don't have to worry about if you do it this way. It just kind of automatically is done, so to speak. Also, just, it looks cool. Yeah, part of why I went so towards speed was I always got frustrated if a piece was taking a long time and it wasn't looking the way I wanted it to. But nowadays, since I'm doing things so much faster, even if something doesn't quite look the way I want it to, I haven't spent, hours on it. So it's easier to like let it go and like either try again or just leave it be. It's also less stress on the wrist and thus my mental health. But yeah, this method is one of my favorites for getting some cool shading really fast. And I just realized I used that purple I talked about. That purple's like my favorite when it comes to shading stuff. And then one last thing you can even do, as I mentioned, I think earlier, is you can go and do the pen, and that makes really bright highlights. So if you want something to really pop out like the eyes, you can go in there, or like this chin could use it because skin's pretty reflective. You could add a couple highlights on the hair if you wanted and make it really striking. The beaker, which I guess it's not registering it on the beaker because it's transparent. But yeah, you can add even more detail there. But yeah, bam, what was that? 15 minutes? not counting the drawing. We got a really cool rough thing going on here. And then, like, if I took away that darkness, you can see right here that it's less striking because of it's so light, right? So the darker palette really helps there. And if we wanted, we could add another multiply layer in, like, say if we wanted some more definition on the buns because they had so little. Right, so you can like add this in if you wanted. Or something, right? So. Oh, I realize why it's so dark now. It's at 100%. Okay. There we go. Or like this coat down here has barely any light on it, so we could add the shading down there. And there. Even more. I just have an extra fun here now, where I can make the playing around with how the line work layers work is also really fun. So I went over the line work here, and then I just made it a little blurry, and that makes it extra like, ooh, is this going over top of the lighting? Or the lining, rather. Ooh. And you can see how much that adds with like just that little glow there. And I feel bad that we didn't talk like as much about lining and or not lining, shading as I probably could have. Considering that that was the main topic for today. There's always next week and the week after that, and so on and so forth. Also, we got Sapphire Design. Possibly see her if she was an ITN. That also means that she is good at either ice or water magic, and then she practices fire magic. I like to think maybe she heats up her lab experiments with fire magic. Yeah, she's gonna blow you up something fierce. Oh, or she wanted to be less hurt by explosions. So then if she is used to like fire and such, then it doesn't hurt as much. So maybe that's why. Okay, going back to the character design, learning something about her. I might change, as the one last thing, might change these lines actually to the same purple. Ooh. I realized midway that it was going to blend into the background, but that actually looks really cute. Aw. Heck yeah. Turned out, honestly, a pretty decent piece considering it was only like half an hour. Oh no! Shading and lightning? Oh no! That's because it's electric. I've only just started really doing streams, so I'm still getting used to stuff. I need to make like a cute "we'll be starting soon" image or something. Oh, maybe I could use Sapphire for that. Maybe she'll be like one of our drawing mascots or something for these streams. That could be cute. But yeah, that's probably all I'm gonna go over for today, just because I'm still sticking to like an hour per stream. But at least before I start figuring more things out with like setting things up for scenes and getting a better playlist that truly does not have any copyright things in it. Thought I had a decent one, but I guess not. Or even just a thing that has a message at the beginning of "we're starting soon." That'd be a nice step too. But thank you as always to everyone that came and everybody that chatted. It's always nice. The chatting really does make me chatting a lot easier because it's not just sitting talking to myself in a room. It's like actually talking to people. But yeah, and then I think we had a few newer people here today, so that was really fun. Yeah, no, it's so fun hanging out with Co. And I think once a week is nice too. That it's not like too frequent that people feel like they're missing out. But slowly I'll get those VODs on YouTube as well. So yeah, if you guys want to like tweet at me or message me or anything like that for ideas for the next one, I'm open for any list of things. Even if it's like playing a game or reading something, that'd be fun too. I know I've talked about just reading the World Godly Knows manga on here, which would be really fun. I'm just saying. But yeah, so I will see you guys next week. Yeah. Bye bye.